Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lots of respect for giving us a big round of applause there. And we are at Codegarden 2024, umbraCoffee Live. Hello,
Episode
everybody.
number?
We stopped counting. I don't know.
No.
Stopped counting a while ago.
300 something.
Something like that.
Yes, it has been an amazing day. It's the end of the day, almost, but it's not fully end of the day. Where we are, what is that conference? Is that a typical conference that we are attending?
It's definitely friendlier and a bit more fun.
Yes, more mature every year as well?
I think so too.
Yeah. umbraCoffee, what it is? It is a small idea that grew up from online conversation between a couple of Polish guys who wanted to chat about umbraCo into international, multi-language, multinational exchange of knowledge between corporate people doing amazing back-end and front-end stuff, right?
That is the official definition.
I need to write it down because it was the first time when I really told about that. But yeah, we're talking about umbraCo and everything umbraCo related. It's community, packages, HQ updates, career growth, everything. Basically, tell us about what we can talk about as well.
Yeah.
And today, we are here to summarize the day number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. With these balloons getting in the way. We're going to bring some guests up and we're going to get to meet a few of the people here at Codegarden. But first, we want to get to know you. So let's get some cheers out for people. Who's come in from Denmark? Woo, a few Danes. That's not surprising. What about, I don't know, Sweden, Norway? We've got 1, 2. Okay, not so enthusiastic. UK, anyone in from the UK?
Poland. Yeah. I knew that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Anyone in from further afield? Who have we got in from? Let's have a Australia. We've got an Australian. Amazing. A few Australians.
Representation.
Damn.
Should we do something with it?
Let's get the Australians up. Come on. Anyone that's Australian?
Join us
No,
on the
sorry.
stage.
Anyone that's come in from Australia? Yeah, Nathan can come up as well. We like Nathan. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody.
5. Join us.
I'm not sure how many of you will fit up on the stage
We
here.
will
So
test the security of this.
squeeze in. Mario, hello.
Nice to see you.
This is a small stage compared to previous years, so this is precarious.
Let's do that. There are still some stairs.
Yeah, please grab a seat and make yourselves at home. Fantastic. Well, there's a couple of microphones. Feel free to hand them out between yourselves.
Let's distribute this microphone somewhere.
Yeah. Cool. Maybe we could just say hi. Introduce yourselves, people.
We'll start with him. Go.
Okay. Right on the end.
Hello. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm from an agency called Calico in Melbourne, Australia. Over here with my business partner Andy. It's my first Codegarden. It's thank you. Just really wanted to I don't know, just get to meet people, get to know more about the community and umbraCo. Certainly doing that, and it's really exciting to be here. So.
Awesome. Welcome.
Wow, I'll be a lot more prompt or brief. My name's Nathan. I'm from the Sunshine Coast in Australia, which is near Brisbane, which is not really near Sydney, but if you don't know where any of those places are, it doesn't really matter. I work for umbraCo HQ, so I'm kind of here. It's kind of work, but it's when you go through customs and they ask, is it business or pleasure? And you say, well, it's kind of both. So
Lovely.
Were you smuggling something from Australia, same as I do every year from Poland?
No.
No. Call
He's
me for
talking
some
about
tips.
coffee.
Call me for some tips then later.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Joseph. I'm from Melbourne. I'm working for your IT team in Australia, and it's my first Codegarden as well.
I feel like I'm at AA or something.
Hold on a second. You're British. What's going on here?
I was just going to say, hold on.
Story of life.
My name's Andy. I also work at Calico. I am British, but I've been in Melbourne for 17 years. And my first Codegarden, loving the whooping.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. First time Codegarden. I went to a bunch of meetups in Australia and won the door prize. So all expenses paid. And here I am.
Amazing.
I'm Rob. I run your IT team, so Joseph is one of my team members. I live really much close to the border between Gold Coast, New South Wales and Queensland, so it's kind of that rough area on the edge.
Near Sydney, like Nathan said, right?
Yeah, about as close to Sydney.
Australia, right? Australia.
I'm probably about 3 hours south of Nathan.
And you're an MVP as well.
I am 3 times now. I don't know what happened. Someone nominated me, and I completely shocked the couple of first year I got
We
it.
will find them.
With prejudice.
And we must say, actually, you are responsible for organising the initiative that got Ben here. So that's the ticket to get
That's
an
true,
Australian over to
but
Codegarden.
I didn't do it myself. All the gold partners in Australia got together, and we just sponsored a free trip for someone, and we made it. You had to be turning up to a meetup in person, and Ben, I think you got two meetups, two meetups, because we did all 3 meetups in Australia. So Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne.
Nice.
And Ben's name was the one that came out of the pot.
Very nice.
Lucky Ben.
Well, great initiative. Well done, Rob.
He'd never been outside Australia.
Whoa.
First trip outside of Australia.
Amazing. Cool. And finally,
My name is Mario. I'm not Australian, but I live. I'm originally from Spain, but I have been living in Australia for like 14 years now. So I live in Melbourne, which is pretty much even colder than here. What else? That's it. This is my first Codegarden as well.
First.
and also an MVP.
Yes.
Also an MVP, yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so what makes this event that special, that you travel from that far away to be here in person, and what motivates you guys to be here?
Free ticket.
Besides free tickets and expenses covered. Start Mario from you. Yeah. It's your first one as well.
I started with working with umbraCo maybe like 10 years ago, and I think being in Codegarden is like a milestone. Like, I don't know, like it's something you have to do, like going to
Bucket
Mecca or something. Yeah.
Hello. I think for me, it's within Australia, umbraCo is quite small. So to come to the home of umbraCo, there is something definitely there, meeting the community, seeing all the people that we've been chatting to from umbraCo HQ, and yeah, meeting lots of people with similar things in mind.
Lovely. Well, I think it's awesome to see so many of you here. Hopefully more in future years as well as the community in Australia grows. But let's give our Aussies a quick
You're going to need a bigger couch.
We might. We might, yeah. Give our Aussies a round of applause, everyone. Okay. Well, as we let our Aussie friends leave the stage, I think we're going to invite a couple of new guests on, including 2 speakers from today. So, everybody, give a big round of applause to Felina and Jeffrey. Hello.
Big 5.
I just got comfy, so I'm going to say seated, if that's all right. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And of course, we planned this incredibly far in advance, and you were all aware that this was going to happen many weeks ago. So we really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's maybe do some introductions first. Felina, we first met at Dukefest. We were trying to work it out. I think it was 2018. I worked at.
Definitely pre-pandemic.
It was,
so
yeah.
Very long time ago.
Yeah, but perhaps you can introduce yourself because you don't originate from the umbraCo community.
Yeah, nor from Australia.
Ah.
So my name is Feline Hermans. I'm a professor of computer science education in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and I work on how to better teach people programming.
Wow. And your talk today was about making a programming language.
Yes, yeah. So I was so excited about teaching kids programming that I did the obvious thing and made a programming language to help kids learn programming. That was what the talk was about.
Fantastic. Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm Jeffrey Shoemaker. Been around since 2010 with umbraCo, 8 times umbraCo MVP, and I had the pleasure to speak today.
Fantastic.
What was
Martin,
your yeah?
we were just talking before we went live that we saw in the clip that plays before umbraCoffee, you and your colleague came on umbraCoffee and did a demo of an umbraCo Alexa or Google
Google
Home,
Home.
Google Assistant
Skill, or whatever they are called.
broke a lot of installations at homes during the umbraCoffee.
Yeah, okay, okay, Google.
Still, the most popular
Yeah.
video on our channel.
It
And
is.
by the way, like, subscribe, do all the amazing YouTube stuff. 28 subscribers from 1,000. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
That was amazing, and still, it's kind of still being indexed and searched by people, and that's impressive. And today, you were also going beyond, let's say, lines of now, and you were looking onto some dreams in the future of umbraCo combined with AI.
Yeah,
First
combined
time
with
I'm
AI.
using AI during this.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was pretty amazing, I guess. Especially my search from submitting the session back in January and then creating a presentation around it because I didn't know what I would come up with. And I think it was a really nice presentation with some nice outcome as well.
Yeah. We've been talking about it as well behind the scenes about the AI combinations with CMSs and everything else, and I think that was a really well delivered set of dreams that might be turned into reality, right? Which one of them then is your favorite one, and which one of them which you would like to implement first or the fastest?
From these dreams?
Yes.
Well, I hope that after this session, HQ is a bit inspired to guide us a bit along the way, so we will not make a circus out of the back office, implementing all our own AI implementation, stuff like that. But I'm really happy with the content body that we not officially released, but will be releasing soon, which turns Word documents or Google documents into notes without doing anything in the back office.
You shared a demo video maybe privately earlier, but it effectively showed you taking that Word document, uploading it to the CMS, and it creating content blocks in your Perplex blocks package with page content based on the spec that had been
or strongly, or not strongly, but document types with fixed properties. As long as it's there, just copy over, and AI will do the rest.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's really
none of these AI gimmicks in the back office. Not making doing Mid-Journey style image generation, but it's an actual productive use case.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, making the life of the editor way easier because when I started my journey, I was creating text and image in my presentation, and I spoke to a few content editors, and they said, "No, we want to create content and cool images, but please help me out getting this stuff into the CMS and deliver to the web." So I was thinking about it the wrong way around, and that's something we fixed at the end. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
And Feline, how it combines with your work, and speaking about creating programming language, of course, going through all of the yet another revolution of IT industry, all low-code, no-code, automations, ChatGPT, everything, how it all combines with what you see from the inside of your knowledge and how you see, maybe not the future, but us now doing the work and building things with computers.
Yeah, I talked about that a bit also in my talk today, because sometimes now people say, also programmers, oh, there's AI, so why are you still teaching kids programming? Because the computers can do that. But I think there's really a different value in learning to program. It's not necessarily that you're programming so that you have a programmer. It's, oh no, now I have hello world. It's not about the output, it's more about the process. We're also still, I guess, hopefully teaching kids drawing in elementary school. Well, Mid-Journey can do that. Yes, but now I know as a person that I can also do it. And I talked also about my talk how important that is specifically for minority kids. So maybe kids that don't have a computer at home, or girls, or kids that have parents that are not technologically advanced themselves, then they're so much less likely to see themselves as a kid that can do this. So just giving them the opportunity in programming class to see, oh, hey, this is something I can do, even though, yes, a computer can probably also do it. But it's really more about motivating them and showing them that this is the world of technology is also a world for them. I think that's still very much important, even though we have AI.
Nice. I still think that the scale can be easily accomplished thanks to the well-guided steps of this education, but someone needs to steer this education because we know how we were taught things as well, and how much of these things are useful or not useful for the things what we do, right? So what was the language that you've built?
So I built a programming language that's called Hedy, after Hedy Lamarr. And one thing that's unique about it is it's a stepwise language, because usually if we teach kids programming, let's say Python or C#, then they have to use the whole language at once, including all sorts of things they don't necessarily need yet. Whereas in Hedy, first you just learn a few concepts and then a bit more and then a bit more. So that's one unique thing. And the other thing that's pretty unique is that we are a multilingual programming language. So you can program in English, but also in Spanish or Dutch or Arabic or Chinese. We support 54 different languages, also Danish. And that's also something that's really different, that we have sort of as a field accepted that if you want to participate in the world of technology, you have to do it in English. I learned programming before I learned English, but then I had to learn it in English because it was the only way. But this is, of course, an assumption that we can challenge. Like, why is that necessary? And it's not... Well, I wouldn't say it was easy. I spent a few months of my life on building it, but it was also not so very hard. It's not super hard to build a multilingual programming system. And we're really seeing that also resonate with our community. This is what I very much like about umbraCo, even though I'm not an umbraCo person, that it seems to me that you're really a very nice and welcoming community, and that's something also that I take away in my project, where together with all those people that know all these languages, I know like 2.5 languages, certainly not 54, we're really building this platform together with all of the people that are participating from all around the world, and that's really what makes it, I think, so strong and so interesting for me also as a creator.
That's impressive.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I think that other CMS conferences, they are probably starting teaching kids from C++ or assembler. So yeah, we are friendly. We are not doing that, definitely. So,
both of you, any talks you attended today that are other than your own, of course, highlights? Anything you want to share with our audience?
Yeah, so I saw a lightning talk about a speaker with diabetes, and she was talking about how you use an app to manage diabetes, which is great, of course, that helps people manage their illness. But then she was also talking about how poorly those apps really think about the users, that there was an update and then it didn't work. It's like, oh, that's a pity, my app crashes, but oh no, this is like potentially life-threatening. So I thought that was a really great talk about the influence of technology in the real world, and also that participatory design is so important, that maybe it's not a great idea if people without diabetes make software for people with, maybe they should be more involved. So that's definitely a talk that I will chew on a bit more, because it really had a lot in it.
Yeah, that talk was fantastic. That was George Bidder from True Digital. Truly, truly excellent talk. And it's recorded, so you can go back and watch it. I agree. Fantastic session. Jeffrey, a highlight?
I mostly saw the keynote because afterwards I was chilling down after my session. But I liked the keynote. It was a good combination of numbers, figures, inspiration, what's now here. Also, the videos or the people of HQ that were on stage, it was really nice. And I think that everybody thought, okay, this is the right direction that umbraCo is going in.
And
So
Philip even called out AI as one of the lighthouses of things that should be focused on. Maybe the umbraCo don't have a plan just yet, but hopefully your sessions maybe guided them.
hopefully I inspired him. And it's usual that the keynote is overrun on time, so I had to leave to getting to my session, so I didn't saw it, but I heard it afterwards.
Oh, that's good.
but that's also what you've shared on your talk, Jeffrey, that some of the discussions and takeaways from the keynotes can be turned into ideas or products later. That's how some of the products were built as well from your perspective. And it's all about exchanging ideas and talking about what we will do, but also what we won't do. Same with the umbraCo stuff, right? Yep. And it's like the dreams are that you've shared, and all the dreams that we will probably be sharing in between of each other are for not only sharing, but also for doing something with it, right?
Yeah. And that's the beauty of open source. Since I joined the community, I can share my ideas and thoughts, open source them, and people can, or we can discuss to make it better. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's a good thought.
Well, thank you both for joining us. Make sure you take your exclusive umbraCoffee mugs with you. Don't burn yourselves. The coasters as well are for you to take. And if you'd like a bag of coffee, we've got some coffee for you.
Because it's a real coffee show. It's a real coffee show. This coffee was smuggled from Poland. And I'm still testing the limits of security control on the airports. And they are still not asking questions. That's weird. But trust me, it's coffee. So thank you.
Thank you both for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Okay. Marcin, have you had a coffee yet?
Yeah, we can try to throw it.
No,
but-
sorry, I meant a drink.
Ah, coffee. Yeah, I have a coffee. You know what?
You have one?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll have one then. Amazing. Cool. Yeah, we have some swag to give away. We have coasters, of course. If we owe you a coffee mug, having been a guest on umbraCoffee, please let us know, because the box that is here was left from last year's Codegarden, and we didn't want to take them home.
It
so
survived. It has only some insects inside it. But
these have been washed.
Yes.
Trust us.
yes. Next round of guests, and I think it's time for some of the HQers, some of
Yeah,
the
let's do
people
that.
who are responsible for some of the things that we are discussing today. Yeah, please welcome on stage Litsa and
Bjarke.
Bjarke.
Hello, hello. Yeah, we have to do this weird shuffle. You know, I'll sit in the middle. How about that? It's just easier.
With some microphones.
Give you a microphone. Yeah, of course. Don't bite. Bjarke, Elitsa.
Hello.
Hello. We've had you on before. It's always a pleasure. You've been a bit busy recently, maybe?
No, life's too easy.
Chilling
Life's
out,
too easy.
drinking coffee.
But you did have a session earlier today, so maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about that.
It was a rather unusual session. We incorporated a bit of baking theme. So if you know us from before, we did a baking show some years ago.
Is the Danish baking show back? Have we got another season?
We cannot spoil it, but
You have to watch our
interpret
our
on your own, right? It's
Yeah.
like
There was a little bit of the baking show there.
I was discussing actually before Codegarden, those videos were one of my highlights of recent years, and we were wondering if you'd had time recently to maybe record a couple, just in the all the spare time you've got.
But
So,
it was pretty complex recipe, so it's not an easy job to
yeah,
do that, right?
yeah.
But, what was the dish that you delivered during today's talk? What was it all about?
It was all about, the key line was, it's all about taste, because whether you choose umbraCo 13 or 14, there's no silver bullet. Sometimes for your project, one of the cakes or versions are what you need, and sometimes it's the opposite. It really depends on that situation.
Feels like you're walking quite a thin line here, Bjarke.
We also heard we also heard about some of the versions that were poisoned back in the days, right?
Yes, but that was a complete rewrite. This is actually not the case for 14.
No.
So it's only the client side. The backend is more or less just a new API.
Just.
Yeah. But
Like over 150 endpoints, isn't there?
yeah,
in
but
this
I think
API?
there's 300,000 lines of code. So in the big picture, it's actually not that
much.
big a project from the backend point of view.
Exciting. In the keynote this morning, I know Ken, who's in the audience, hey Ken, showed off some of the new delivery API stuff that's been obviously launched with 14, and I think that's, as you say, the largest change, but maybe you can talk to technically what that is. We've heard a lot about the front end and the UI changes, but what is the delivery API? What does it do, and what have you changed in the core? Do we still have huge controllers with loads and loads of logic in them, or like what's going on now?
No, so the changes related to the delivery API, we released them in version 13. So that's the version 2 of the API. We have, we did some improvements with output expansion, and then we have property limiting now, something that we work together or we discuss together with the umbraCo storefront API. So we got inspired from there. And we another feature that we added was output caching. So we can cache the API outputs for you for each unique request, and then you can enable it individually for both the content and media delivery APIs.
I said delivery API, didn't I?
Yes, you
I
said,
meant
but for
management
the
API,
management
but that's
API,
fantastic because I didn't know there was changes to the delivery API. Sorry.
But yes, for the management API, it was, to be honest, a big mess to look at the old controllers. I think the content controller was 1,300 lines or something. And some of the methods were 200 lines.
With a base as well.
That was a spaghetti dish.
Yeah, exactly. But it's because there are so many expected outcomes. It's not just a happy path. So I showed a single controller today, which is very similar to the rest of them. We always only have a single action now. The idea is to
add multiple actions if we are needing multiple versions of the endpoint, but otherwise it's a single one. Thereby we only inject what is needed. And all the logic that was handled in the controls, because it is complicated when you have to translate something into a not found response or a bad request or whatever, it's moved into the service layer. We have to use actually an old pattern from umbraCo. It's called attempt. It has been there, I think, since 7 at least. But it let us return a status code or status enum together with the results. So you know, as a developer, I need to take care of this if it's not successful. And then I can handle it. Whether I just throw an exception, that's now your responsibility and not mine. But in the management API, we are translating all these to a HTTP status code that makes sense. So a not found will be a 404. Many of them will be a bad request and so on.
Very nice. So does that mean if we've got a project that we're, say, upgrading from 13 to 14, maybe some of the service calls of the response types change, so we just need to...
I actually don't think we changed any. We obsoleted the old methods, added new ones, made them async. Now we had to make new ones. Yeah, you still have to do it, in my opinion, even that it's not breaking. But look out for obsolescence messages.
And don't ignore them.
No, but the thing is, the new methods are doing a lot of validation that happened in the controllers before. So sometimes it was possible to use our service layer and create something, and then basically you shoot yourself in the foot. And later you will realize. Now we try on the service layer level to do all these checks. Safety first.
But it was also mentioned a lot that the version 14 is, of course, a new beginning, and with the API-centric, API-first approach, the building on top of the base right now is relatively easier. Was it something what you've observed with some of the recent features? What is next? What is currently being worked on that proves that the APIs and the back office base is kind of ready for being extended? What makes you right now busy these days with?
Busy with everything. It's actually not related to these things, because what we are busy with now started a year ago also, because 14 have mainly been a front-end project. I know there's a management API, but the back-end developers have also worked on other things. We are working on untangling the logic in the service layer from the published cache. As some of you know, I'm not happy about the fact umbraCo have everything in memory at all time. But because of the story from umbraCo, the cache used to be XML, thereby XPath was given for free. Then suddenly it was not XML. We kind of implement a subset of XPath, but it relied on everything needs to be in memory. So we had to obsolete these things, and we are talking a lot with the community team, which you are part of, to figure out, are you using this feature in some way we can't predict or don't know about? Otherwise, we are obsoleting things right away. Otherwise, we need to implement an alternative. So we did that with the dynamic routes.
Which is excellent, by the way. We've switched everything, we've upgraded to that, and it's worked a treat. And stuff that I couldn't do before in XPath is now actually possible and cleaner and more performant too.
Exactly, because it's extendable. That is how we try to do everything. Also, I'm not a fan of XPath because I couldn't figure out what is actually going on now. It's not XML. So, but yes, out of box, I think we solved around 90% of the use cases we heard about. Yeah. Some of them were pretty complex, and we didn't think it was a fit for the out-of-box offering. So as long as the extension points are clear, and yes, you can do whatever. You could just make a simple query because you know exactly what you need. Yeah, so that's a powerful feature.
You know I like keeping secrets, so I'm sure this is allowed to be spoken about. This one, yesterday, I think at the Business Summit, Bjarke, you had a session where you spoke about what's next with the CMS. And one of the things was, of course, .NET 9 support was coming later this year. umbraCo 15 will launch later this year too. And the words hybrid cache were mentioned. And that really excites me. So is that on the cards? Is that something that's in the plans?
Definitely. We're not started yet. It was not available in Preview 3. It's just become available in Preview 4 a month ago or something.
Yeah.
But I have tried to read up on all their plans, and it's a new hybrid cache library. It's extensions on top of the iDistributed cache abstraction. And even before this was announced by Microsoft, I talked about we need a hybrid cache, because we need some of the content in memory to be able to respond super quickly.
They heard your prayers.
Told it.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, not sure. But it's exactly what we need. Now I just need to figure out, does it fit my plans 100%? I don't think necessarily you should bring a distributed cache. I would like it to be optional. So we just fall back to requesting the database, which is also a cached version of the content, but still, But I haven't looked much into it, but it's definitely
in the plans.
It's in the plans.
That's exciting. It's amazing to think the .NET feature that was announced, in March, late March, start of April, and has only just within the recent weeks become an actual thing that's in a preview version of .NET, is now being spoken about as a potential candidate for a way we could do something in, not a crazy time frame, within a year or so. Like that's really impressive, because you couldn't dream of that, say, 3 years ago with umbraCo. It's come along a long way. Hey.
Yes, so it's really important for us to stay up to date with especially .NET. But now we don't have the big AngularJS anymore, so we have. I think .NET is the big dependency nowadays, and we actually try to align even more with them. Longer term, I would like to introduce entity framework instead of NPOGO, all these things, because then we have one vendor, basically. And they're bigger than us. I like that fact, instead of relying on small one-man projects.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting that it's kind of going into the market standardization phase, because it's also making easier onboarding to people to umbraCo from the .NET world, because they're kind of familiar with everything, basically, what can be done there, and umbraCo is like an extension as well for their work. Cool. So what dish you will be cooking soon with umbraCo, and what we can expect next on your table from Monday?
Bjerke. No. Yeah, we started briefly talking about the client's credentials feature, or machine-to-machine authentication. So which basically would enable integrations with the management API. So all the endpoints that we have right now, if we can call those without user interaction, because right now if you have to authenticate with the user interaction. So when we implement the client's credentials feature, you can just write a script, and then you can use all our endpoints.
And would reduce, I guess, overhead on a lot of those endpoints currently where you're doing auth all the time.
Nice. Seems like an interesting start of the week then. Thank you for everything what you've been sharing with us. We know that there is a lot of talks also happening tomorrow. Everyone is more than invited to follow the path and share the ideas, share the dreams as well to back office and CMS itself. Is there anything else that you want to mention?
No, we owe Elitza a mug, but we'll get you one that's not covered in coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, and not got insects in it like we discovered. Anyway, let's give Bjerke and Elitza a huge round of applause. Thanks for joining. Okay, we've got a few more minutes left, so maybe we can just quickly grab a couple of people from the audience that we've not said hi to yet. I can see, hiding behind somebody, an MVP, a new MVP. Amy?
Amy. Yes.
Do you want to come and say hi? We love Amy. And anyone else? And
do we have any new MVPs as well here in the building?
Yeah, come on then.
Join us, please.
There we go.
Where's Amy?
She's struggling to get out because we forgot to. Oh, she's bringing the statue.
Stuck her in the middle. Andy, come on, join us.
Oh, Andy as well, yeah. Oh, I'll make some space.
We can compress.
Yep. I'll sit on your lap, maybe. Don't think that's in line with the code of conduct, is it? Yeah, it's a very narrow stage. Hello, new MVPs.
Hello.
Lovely to have you here. And Amy, this is not your first time on umbraCoffee.
No, but it is in person. So
Is it?
in person,
I
yeah.
thought we had you on last year.
No,
the
just
Codegarden.
online.
It's online. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Lovely to have
It's
you
all
here.
new.
There was a very special moment last year where we gave you your umbraCoffee mug and some umbraCoffee coffee outside, and there was a photo of it that I saw on LinkedIn, I guess, the other day. It was
Yeah.
a very happy memory.
You made the memory wall.
Yeah.
So it was my first Codegarden. And yeah, I'd spoken on umbraCoffee, I think just a couple of months prior to it or something. And then you presented me with a mug and some coffee. So yeah, pride of place in the office.
Amazing. Next to your new statuette.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to put this because it's not going to fit on the photo wall. I think it'll probably pull it down.
It's very heavy.
I need
It's a
a
block
shelf.
of concrete. It's not a very well planned statue, is it? Like taking a brick through airport security is not.
I have some tips.
Fantastic. And
Inside a coffee bag,
We
right?
used to have a microphone which looks like a rocket or a bullet. It was the showstopper at the airports as well. So
this was pre-coffee smuggling days as well.
yes,
Yeah.
old good. Old.
And Andy.
Yes.
There was a moment this morning where they said they were going to announce the MVPs in alphabetical order, and I found myself about 5 minutes later still clapping for the A's. It's like, oh my goodness, there's so many A's. But yeah,
I was half expecting to go up first before I heard, and yeah, I was like fourth or fifth.
I was on the end of the front row, and I thought that I was first, and then actually it started at the other end of the front row, and I was like 6th or 7th. So I was like, wow, that's a lot of A's.
yeah, 23 new MVPs announced today, and 70-something renewals. 77, because there is now 100 MVPs. Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe big round of applause for everyone who is not here, who was awarded with this title.
Indeed. How does it feel? Do you feel any different than when you woke up this morning?
I'm very tired because I was working on my talk.
Oh yeah, you did a
very
talk. How
late
was your
last
talk today?
The talk was really good. Talk was really good. My notes, unfortunately, were more of a script because I've been working on lots of project work and haven't had a lot of time to work on my talk. So there were various points where I was like talking, and then look over at my notes and I just see this large block of text and I go, blah, 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 there.
Yeah.
And then to continue. But no, the talk went really well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, really
What
happy.
was your topic? Give us a 5-second summary.
Enterprise business applications
Oh, your
and
time's
UI
up,
builder.
anyway.
Yeah. use
I
UI
cut out
builder.
after enterprise. That's
Use UI builder. It's really cool.
Ah,
It does a lot of stuff for you and makes it super fast.
Very cool. Good to know.
Amy, you were also doing some kind of talk just before we
Some
went.
kind of talk. A table talk session, Martin.
That's how it's called. What was the topic of that table talk?
It was around all the work that we're doing in the sustainability community team and how much we've kind of done within the space of a year. Because when we were here last year, it was very much in its infancy. We were just kind of making plans and starting to think, oh, what can we do to like add value? So kind of looking back at the previous year and then having done all that stuff now, what's next? And how do we actually do stuff that's meaningful for people? So it was really nice to just have a really informal chat, but yeah, gather some different perspectives and ideas and things that we'd not even considered. So watch this space.
What is
We're gonna
next?
be
What
busy.
might be next?
Am I allowed to say it?
I was going to say that the MVP is like a kind of a checkpoint on
Yeah.
on the way. Are you feeling motivated more now to do
Yeah.
more, or?
Yeah, it's nice to be always nice to be recognised, isn't it? And yeah, I think one of the key ideas that's really stuck in my brain is really how we gather the wider community to do small changes. Jason, you were in the session, weren't you? To do some small changes and Ravi to really just drive a bigger impact. So some of the things that we were discussing was, what does good look like? So there was, how do we make sure that things are downscaled on the weekends when people aren't using them? How do we just encourage some of those good habits? and what they are. We don't know what they are yet. We need to think about that.
The sustainability dashboard that was unveiled last Codegarden, but is actually coming, and there was a demo of it in the keynote today, is a great way of visualizing exactly where your carbon consumption's going in umbraCo Cloud. So that's again another example of just highlighting the issue, so you can decide to maybe we don't need an instance this big. It's burning too much carbon, or cache things better.
And paired with the package that Rick and Tom made, so that's like you can kind of see the back end stuff, but then the front end stuff too. So pairing all that together, to kind of keep track on it is like keeping track on it and benchmarking it, and then making the incremental improvements is really important. So, yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm rambling now.
No,
could talk all day.
It's fascinating. Andy,
yeah,
you are a new MVP as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of imposter syndrome at the minute, because I don't feel like I'm worthy of the title, but no, hopefully it's enough inspiration and motivation to contribute more.
Good.
Yeah, I wanted to certainly blog a lot more. I'm working on some bits in house, which I'm wanting to share a lot more. So yeah,
amazing.
Really,
yeah. I certainly know the MVP program can be a good springboard for people to, get more involved in the community, be more motivated. It's not like you have to. Like, don't change you. You are rewarded because you are doing excellent stuff already. But it's definitely a driver, isn't it, to do more, even more.
Yeah, I always see myself as a bit of a mentor in a work environment. So I'd like to see myself be more of a mentor on in a bigger picture. So yeah.
Lovely.
Nice. Are you looking for anything specific tomorrow then? Is there any topic that is in area of your interest right now, umbraCo-wise, that you want to explore more on the conference and later on?
In terms of talks? Probably, but I can't remember. What a few too many beverages.
I really want to see the Taylor Swift one.
The Taylor Swift one?
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of Taylor Swift. I've
been at the concert recently, right?
We can talk all about this for hours anyway. But I did see a preview of that talk, and Matt, who's delivering the talk, and Mark Goodson have done wonders.
I can't wait.
I highly encourage anyone, even if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, it's a very good session. Go and watch Matt's talk. It's all about it's deployments or something, isn't it? Deployment pipelines, swiftly deploy. Yeah. Anyway, let's not spoil anything. Yeah, it's very Taylor Swift heavy. It's high recommendation on my list, that one.
And what about you, Andrew? Anything?
Honestly, I have to go back and check the program.
Just happy to get through your talk.
I got through my talk, which was like second talk of the day, and I'm like, okay, good. So I have to go and check the program and work out what I'm going to go see tomorrow. But they're all being recorded this year, yes. So any that I have missed, I can go back and catch up, which is fantastic.
Amazing.
It's like less FOMO, right? It's like
let's do a plug for the sustainability community team. Rick's doing a talk.
You just did it. So
yeah, am I allowed? Too late.
Advertisement block now. No, of course, everything what is in the agenda is worth attending, and it's tough to choose the right talks. I've been going through the whole day today and then just trying to see what I can watch, but as I said, it's less FOMO because we know that it will be recorded. So
For sure.
It's like, nothing got missed. And from what we heard, everyone who is watching us as well, the talks won't be immediately available on YouTube, but they will be available after the summer.
After the summer, September.
This is one of the things, not last year, but the year before, which was my first Codegarden, they were all being recorded because it was the hybrid event after we came back from COVID. And that was the great thing because I got to spend the time when I was here talking to people and networking and meeting everyone. And then afterwards, I went back and spent like a whole week watching all the videos of the talks that I've missed. So I'm really glad that's come back because, it means I can spend the time here with all the people that are here. Sorry, all you virtual people, you really should be here. Next year, make sure you come. But that's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's give a round of applause to our final set of guests. Oh, and make sure you take some umbraCoffee coffee. They are all numbered, so I will give. There you go. There you go. That one is
version 15. Pretty stable.
Hashtag 15 stable.
There is some Easter eggs attached to these bags, and these are 50 limited bags of umbraCoffee coffee, and as I said, it's a real coffee. And if you would find a really cool number or any special message that we left for you, please share it and tag us in the socials and let everyone else know what was placed there. There are pretty cool ones.
Is there unstable umbraCoffee?
Who knows? As I said, there were some poisoned versions as well. And we were numbering from 1 to 50. We should start from 0, we are programmers. 1 to 50, and the numbers below 15, I would say, they are interesting ones. So, be sure to reach out to us. We have 25 bucks for today, 25 bucks for tomorrow. And be sure to be active and participate in all the talks and networking sessions, friendly making, matchmaking, everything else that is happening on the event. And get back tomorrow to umbraCoffee at the end of the day, where we'll hopefully summarize everything what happened during the day.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got some exciting guests lined up, and it's going to be a good one. But one final round of applause for our guests, and we'll keep you from your dinner. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow, everyone.